Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the weekly Wednesday Wargaming questions and answers. It's an off the cuff video, guys. What that means is I record and upload. There is no fancy editing skills. You won't see my intro at the beginning. There is a transition button, so if there is outside noise that I can't control, I can just stop filming, wait for it to pass and carry on. These weekly Wednesdays are essentially a Q&A. You guys ask me questions and I answer them. They are primarily model focused and it's primarily GW stuff, of which it's primarily 40k. Now there is some other model stuff from time to time. There is some terrain questions. There is some information about myself, what's going on around the workshop. But so let's get into the questions. Right, so first question. Did you get any of the old world boxes? No, I didn't pre-order none of them. I'll tell you why. €200 for me is a lot of money. I mean, it's probably the same for a lot of you. I do like it. I do like, you know, the whole they brought it back, and I think maybe eventually I will be buying the rule book and, you know, maybe having a game or two, hopefully on the channel. But I don't. It was a bit much for me to buy, you know, to look at, especially with the Dark Angels just around the corner. So I think the Dark Angel goes on pre-order the day that the old one comes out. Something like that. It's a bit weird, but it does something like that. So that's why I never wait, because I'd rather wait for them. I think they're going to come out as €150 or something, but there's 10 Terminators, 5 Deathwing Knights, and Belial model, which for me is just a must-have. Because I was thinking about it earlier. I've got 5 Terminators paid up for my second chapter. I've got 5 Deathwing Knights. I've got a Deathwing command box down here, but they're gone now from the Codex, apparently. So they will become Deathwing Knights. So that'll be 3 units of 5 Deathwing Knights, the new one that's coming, and the two I have. So then I've got 5 Terminators paid up. There's another 10 Terminators coming in that box. So there's 15 Terminators. I've got about another 10 or 15 Terminators, the old lead ones, which I can incorporate into that unit to make the aim would be to make 2 big units of 10. Wilderness 5s or just Wilderness, you know, big units 10. But then it gives me things like, I've got a Terminator Assault Squad down here to build. There's no point me doing it because it's the Terminators all changing now. I know some are going to say, well, but you did the Scouts, but the Scouts are probably a box that everyone's going to have. These Terminators are probably a box that everyone's had, built, and, you know, no interest in. And anyone new coming into it is probably not going to buy the new box of Terminator straight away. The old box of Terminators straight away. They're not going to realise, you know, what they are and everything else. And then as they go to get them, the new one's going to be out. So it's not going to be. I've got 5 Terminators from the Leviathan box. So for me, the one that comes in the Dark Angel box is going to be Dark Angels. The lead ones I have floating around are going to go incorporated into them. And then the plastic ones from the Leviathan box and the Assault Squad down there are going to be turned into Space Wolves. And that's not my secret army, if anyone says it. That's an army that I have in the mind to do eventually. But just, yeah, okay. I want to support the channel, but you don't have a Patreon. Is there any ways that I can support you? Right, the first way of supporting the channel, you know, the first basic way is subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel because it costs you nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything I do. There will be a membership thing eventually, not far away from getting to that. But in terms of supporting any other ways you can support the channel, if I put a video up that you have no interest in, let's say the Space Marine Scout video, even though it's, you know, we need 200 views. If I put that video up and I've got Scouts, I've built them, painted them a long time ago, I'm not interested in looking at a video. What you can do to support the channel is put that video on. turn the volume down, put it on, and just leave it to run through from start to finish, and do whatever else you're doing. Okay, that is one way you can really support the channel, but there will be memberships soon. I say soon. It's just I have to hit a certain criteria in order to be able to have that. Not far away from it, but that's all thanks to you guys as well for watching the content I do. Again, my second answer there about just letting it run through, that goes into that as well. It gives me like a membership, like a Patreon, okay, and it also gives me access to have my own shop. So if I can get my backside into gear and figure out how I'm doing with the 3D scanner and how can I get it working, you know, and figure all that properly, I can then 3D scan some of the simpler things that I made, the smaller things that I made, and 3D print them and sell them in the shop. That's the idea. But it's my enemy. Time is my enemy. I'm on holiday this week, so I've got a few ambitious tasks that I want to do. I've got more questions, but I just want to talk about this first before I think about it. The ambitious tasks I have, you guys would have seen, like, Hexprax went up Monday morning, and then I did the painting video on Monday. Yesterday I did the Space Marine Jump Captain, the new one. After this video I'm going to start building Dark Master. Some of you are going, who's that? When you see it, you'll be like, wow, yeah, I've had him almost a year now, just over a year I think, just sitting there. But he'll be coming out and being built. I wanted to get Karai's Fate Weaver painted up this week, but I was having problems with the airbrush. I thought the fuse had blown, so I went to change the fuse. It's a sealed unit, the plug's a sealed unit, so I can't even, so I was like, oh, I looked for the same connection, no, can't find nowhere. So then I now come up with the idea of breaking it open, taking the wiring out and rewiring it into a normal plug. I'll find out if that works or not, because otherwise painting Fate Weaver is going to be a long process. With the airbrush at least I can come in and just give some base colours with the airbrush and save myself so much time. I also have a Space Marine Predator to build that I want to get built this week. I also had 2 other boxes come in today, Christmas boxes. Felgor Ravagers for the Chaos Space Marines Kill Team box, but they're for the Chaos Space Marine Army, which is basically a Beastman. And a Fire Prism or a Death Spinner for the Eldari Army, which is, and I was told, I heard someone talking about it before, but it's so hard to get hold of them. I've got one, and the place I work from has another one, which I might try and get in a couple of weeks' time if it's still there, because they are, but there's still some more stuff to come in. So yeah, my ambitious, and I've got terrain build to try and get done this week as well. So there's a lot for me to do, and a lot running out. I always run out of time. There's always too much going on. I've still got Necrons on the table to mechanise. It's just. But whilst I'm talking about that, taking a second away from the questions, I didn't last weekly Wednesday. I didn't talk about my aims for the year because I was still sick, so I didn't want to sit here prolonged, you know, doing a video if I could just hold off and talk about, you know, this week. Now my aims for last year were to do the Monday painting video, try and get a second painting video in, you know, not every week but most weeks. I didn't achieve that fully, but some weeks I did 2 painting videos. Some weeks I did the Monday painting video, then I did another painting video, painted 2 models in that video. So, you know, I wasn't far away from it. Another thing was to do at least 2 Let's Builds a week, which I think I think there's only a couple of weeks of last year, maybe 3, say 4 weeks of last year that I didn't achieve that. The rest of the time I did. Sometimes I did three Let's Builds in a week, which is actually fantastic. So I wanted to get at least the train build done every month. That didn't happen. That did not happen. This didn't happen. I get a battle report done every month, which, you know, me and Mark have a nice little schedule now that we do. and that has been happening, even though I've been getting my ass kicked every single time. But yeah, it's I really enjoy playing games against Mark. It's actually fantastic. The last game we had was last Wednesday, actually, I think it was. Yeah, last Wednesday. It was a 3,000 point game. Necrons versus Tyranids. And I was set to film. I didn't film because I was sick. I didn't want to have to stop playing and go and sit on the golden throne and then come back and then go back again, you know. So I just said, let's play, and if we have to abandon it, it's not, you know, I haven't filmed half a battle report. But Sod's Law says, because I wasn't filming, I was able to play, and I was fine. But anyway, I'm very keen to get games going. There's the second time my Necron force has faced Mark's Tyranids. Both games have been off camera. So, I think I said last week, the Void Dragon and the Norn Emissary, they have a little rivalry going. The first game, the Void Dragon killed him. This last game, the Void Dragon got killed before he could get to him. So hopefully the third time they'll get together and we can see it on camera. But my aims for this year is to continue doing a battle report every month. I'd like to probably try and get 2 filmed for the month, but I'm not trying to put my eggs in one basket for that. If I can do 1 a month, and then next month there's 2, the next month there's only 1, that's, you know, I'm happy with that. I still want to try and get 2 painting videos done a week, but realistically, I'm definitely gonna have the Monday painting video done. I want to keep doing two Let's Builds a week at least. I actually want to get through this pile here this year, and that pile includes what's in those boxes there. Some of them need to be arms, weapons, ranked into squads, and the Imperial magazine, which is just below me, and there's still a lot on that to do. Terrain build wise, I want to aim for 1 terrain build a month. Okay, but realistically, I would be okay with 1 build every 2 months. But with that said, I know once I get the 3D scanner and I fully understand how it works and get it working, I know that I'm going to be going hammer and tongue on terrain builds. So, you know, now I definitely want to get all that done this year. There's still a lot of models to come in, so I'm not. But for me, there's things that I have, like Primaris Assault Intercessors. I'm not going to paint them on the channel and do a video for you guys to show because to me they're not that interesting to look at being painted. The same as Special Tetris Squad. To me, they're not that interesting to look at to be painted. One thing I do want to try and do this year is try and do more live streams on TikTok. Just to do jobs like that, just to paint those up on there and just have a conversation with people. Now, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, then I can do live stream on YouTube, which is one thing I want to do. I don't know if I'll have the correct setup here because I think I need a laptop over here and everything else, which I don't think the laptop will use. I think the Wi-Fi is too far for the laptop to use. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out anyway, but I definitely want to try and do that. Anyway, that's my aims for this year. 2 Let's Builds a week. 1 to 2 painting videos a week. Definitely 1 because it's Monday painting video. A battle report every month, hopefully 2, and a terrain build every month. Hope, you know, maybe 1 every 2 months, something like that. And declare this. I want to look and see empty shelves. That's what I want to see, and then go, right, what models can I buy in now? That's what I want to see. The other thing is as well, I want to get all of the armies that I have here now up to 2,000 points at least. So you're talking Tyranids, which I'm not far away from doing, sisters, which still need to be built, but again, not far away from doing. I say World Eaters, but I can feel the 2000 point World Eater army with Bloodthirster, maybe a few demon bits into it, but I want to try and get them to 2000 points without the demons. Demon army to 2000 points, which is not far away from. Gently the Cults, I want to get them to 1000 points at least. They're not top of my list. Custodes to 1000 points at least. The Drukhari to 1000 points. I've still got some stuff to build from the Python Paint box. But I had a quick look on the app and I think it's about 500 points worth. So it's not really, you know, that much. Edmech, because I've got a few bits, try and get them to 1000 points. And I say the Astra Militarum, but see, with the Combat Patrols magazine coming in soon, or not soon, but you know, it's rolling out soon this year. I was having a look at what's on there, and there's a lot of stuff on there. Absolutely bonkers amount of stuff. You know, it's when I list them off to you, you go, oh yeah, that's a lot. But when you actually see what's on there, you go, wow, that's, you know, I'm thinking of Orcs, and the extra bonus model of the Orcs is a speedster vehicle, which is, you know, I'm not too clued up on it, but it's Leagues of Voltan on there with the, what else was the other thing? There was something with them, I can't remember what it was now, but then the premium edition is the guys with the rocket things on the back, which again is bonkers. But anyway, so there's a lot for me to do, including all that. But anyway, back to the questions. I'm new to the hobby. When do you stop with an army? So this is I had this question a long time ago, but it's a very good question, especially if you're new to the army, new to the game. So if you're just playing that one army, you just keep going. You just keep going until you're happy. For me, like with my Necrons, I said it because they're sitting in front of me. I've got 40 Necron warriors on the table. Now. I've got another 20 to build. So for me, I'm not going to want any more Necron warriors. Even if I was playing a 5,000 or 6,000 point game, I'm not going to need any more. You know, okay, let's say I was playing a 5,000 or 6,000 point game. Yes, I would want more warriors. But how often am I going to play a game that size? Once a year, if that. You know, so for me, I don't need, once I've got the other 20 built up and painted, I don't need to add any more Necron warriors, which goes to the new combat patrol for Necrons. The only thing that interested me in that box is the Scorpion Destroyers and the Canoptic Doomstalker. Now, I have 2 Doomstalkers here. You can only have 3 of those in your 3 units entries into your army anyway. So that would be useful for me. Scorpion Destroyers are always useful. But there's still 10 warriors there. They're just no point for me. So that's not worth it for me. But where you would stop, I wouldn't buy any more Necron warriors. Yeah, what I've just said. I wouldn't buy any more. Things like, for the Necron army, things like Canoptic Wraiths, because they're in front of me. And they will be painted this week. I promise you they will be painted this week. I have 3 in the unit. The unit is between 3 to 6. So I could buy another box and that gives me a unit of 6, or I could have 2 units of 3. So where would I stop there? Well, I can have 3 entries into the army, and each entry is a unit, and each unit can have between 3 to 6 models. So once I've maxed that out, I'm not going to need any more. Now it could be 11th edition. The Games Workshop says, okay, we're going to move that restriction of 3 to maybe 5, you know, or 4. Then I'd go, okay, let me get a couple more. But you know, it's not. Even going back to what I said about Space Marines, the Terminators, I'm not going to need more Terminators for my Space Marine army when that Dark Angel boss comes in. So any more that I have is going to be for the Space Wolves. But then again, I'm only going to need X amount for the Space Wolf army. So that's probably the best way to answer that question. If you're playing it just, and that's the only, if I was just playing Necrons, I'd just keep going. Just keep going until I'm, you know, until I turn into a Necron. But if you're going to play more than one army, then you need to look and go, okay, what? Do I need another one of these? Space Marine Army again. Hammerfell Bunker. I think it's absolutely lovely. I love it. In game terms, it's not that great, depending on what army you're playing against. But do I want another one? I would like another one for that for my Dark Angel army, but I'm not going to get one. You know, I don't need it. Very rarely am I going to play it on the table. Was it 200 points? 270 points, I think it is. I'm not sure now. I can't remember off the top of my head. You know, when you start playing games, you'll understand what your army needs and what it doesn't need. You know, for a long time, the Necrons needed heavier weapons, and then they have the heavier weapons. What do I need now? I need like more specific specialist units. You know. Anyway, I could go on about this question all day. Are you any closer to finishing your secret army that you have been working on? Yes. Yes. I have 2 units left to build. And once those 2 units are left to build, there is 2,000 points there. I have the list already wrote out. And I'm not going to tell you what the secret army is until it's on the table. Even in the battle report that this goes into, the thumbnail will be whatever army Mark's using, and then there'll be a piece of paper or a question mark over it, so you won't even know until you watch it. But yeah, it's very close, very close. And I've been building the models in front of you, and you don't even realise, but you know, you'll soon see. I have seen you use sanding sponge and talk about sanding block. What do you prefer to use? Well, see, that's a good question, because sanding block and sanding sponge, there's a difference between the two. Sanding block is more firm and rigid. I talk about this on weekly Wednesday, on Let's Build anyway. So I prefer to use the sanding sponge because it's easier to get into, and it's, you know, I can fold it in whatever shape I want. And the thing with the sanding sponge is, let's say, pick up this bit of plastic here. Say I'm cleaning this. This has got more flexibility on it, so it's not going to break the model a bit off. So if I'm doing chains and pipes and stuff like that, this is very good because it's very flexible. Or if I've got a model, yeah, there's a blood letter in front of me. Say I'm trying to clean the sword. It's a lot more giving on it. It's going to bend. Okay. Obviously, you don't go crazy on something like a sword, whereas a sanding block is more firm. So for me, sanding block would probably be, I would prefer to use it. I have used it on models I had before, carefully, but a sanding block is more useful on things like tanks and big, you know, they have big pieces that need to have edges need to give a good sand down, give it a quick once over, just to let, you know, make sure there's no mold lines, and make sure when you spray it, the paint adheres to it properly. You know, I do prefer the sponge though. Now, onto the bit of the video that a lot of people like, the weekly vote. Now, the weekly vote, let me tell you about it first. The weekly vote is, I show you a host of models, and you guys vote on what you want me to paint for next Monday's painting video. Now, with that said, I know I said I was going to paint the Wraiths, didn't get to do the dice roll the other week. I remember. It wasn't this week, it was the week before. Only because I was so pressed on time and they weren't even gravelled. As you can see, they're gravelled now. One thing I actually want to show you, I couldn't find a 50mm base, so I took a Marvel Crisis Protocol base, which is very similar, but in the middle there I didn't put all the gravel in, so it's actually, I'll bring you down and show you when I show you the models, but you'll see there's all cracks in the ground. It looks actually fantastic. But anyway, I'll show you a host of models, and you guys vote on what you want to paint for next Monday's painting video. Now, don't say I vote for everything because it won't count, but you can say I vote for any of the Necrons or any of the Eldari or any of the demons or any of this, and that will count. If you're not sure what something's called, or how to spell what's called, some of them have crazy names, just give me a description of what it is, okay? And you can vote for more than one thing. Now, I keep forgetting every week to say this. The voting closes on Friday at 2 o'clock, because then that gives me time to get everything ready and primed up and start working on it if I need to. So any votes after that won't count, because I would have already started on the video. You know, Anyway, I'm going to bring those shiny models. Right, here's what I'm talking about, that base for the Kinetic Wraith. I think that's going to look absolutely fantastic when it's painted. Anyway, let's go through what we got on here. We've got Azrael. We've got the Necron Overlord with the Translocation Shroud. We've got Eliminators, Space Marines. We've got Pink Horrors, Demons. We've got, what's his name? Plasmancer for Necrons. We've got Dire Avengers for the Eldari. We've got Demonettes for the Demons. We've got Magus for the Genocide Cults. We have Tyranid Warriors for the Tyranids. We have the Space Marine Jump Captain, which I built yesterday. We have the Genocide Cults. I can't remember what they're called now. They're the hybrids, guys. We have the Space Marine Ancient. I think it's Blade Guard Ancient, I think. We have the Marshal for the Admech Army. We have Dr. Octopus for the Marvel Crisis Protocol. We have a Hive Tyrant for Tyranids. We have a Tyranid Biovore. We have Von Ryan's Leapers. We have Deathwing Knights. We have the Nero Tyrant. We have the Eldari Wraith Lord. And we have the Hexbrax Drukhari Woman. Right, so there's also two other options you can vote for. One is the wild card, which you'll find out if that wins, what that is if it wins. And the second one is Creator's Choice. Now, Creator's Choice, if that wins the vote, then I pick a model from that and paint it. Which I don't, I leave that option there, but I don't really like it because I like to be challenged with what to do, what to paint. Now, I think with the this week's painting video, Warp Talons, that was an absolute challenge. I'm not too sold on the Runelord Brass, but it's not big shiny gold. It's nice dulled down. I'm not sold on it, and another unit of those I wouldn't do with the Runelord Brass. I'd probably do the gold, but anyway, that base on that Wraith looks absolutely. It looks nice now, but it's going to look fantastic when it's painted. One other thing I'm going to say, because there's so much to talk about. One other thing I'm going to say. One aim for this year is to keep my desk tidy, because I'm fed up with bits of sprue sitting on the desk. I'm fed up with, you know, bits of model that's not going to be used sitting on the desk. I've got bases everywhere. I've got, you know, some models at the back here, bloodletters to do off camera, and you know, and then I've got bits of sprue over here and some bits and pieces of, look, there's an old bit of sanding block, there's an old paintbrush there. I need to get this desk sorted out. That's one thing I want to do for this year as well, keep desk organised and tidy. Anyway guys, if you thanks for watching, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button because it costs you nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube to share this video to more and more people, which makes this amazing community of you guys grow even more. Any questions for me, chuck them below as normal. If you don't want to chuck a question below because you think, oh, people are going to take the mickey out of me, so go onto the Unique Wargaming Terrain Facebook page. There is a messenger button there, you can message me directly. It's not an issue, not a problem. If I do put a video up, like I said earlier on, and you go, I'm not interested in looking at a video, just do me that one big solid favour. Turn the volume down, put the video on, let it run from start to finish, and then, you know, that would support me in a massive way. And yeah, until next time guys, don't forget to vote. Until next time, take it easy.